Hello and welcome to your next practice. So, how are you today? And I don't just mean, how are you? Welcome. I mean, how are you today? I'd like you to take a moment to check in with yourself. And remember that I'm grand, the great Irish phrase, isn't an answer. How are you today? How are you physically? How are you mentally and emotionally? Are you tired? Are you full of energy? Are you somewhere in between? Are you tense? Are you spacious? Are you happy? Are you sad? Are you angry? Are you joyful? Maybe again, you're a little bit of all these things. So today, I want you to really check in with how you are. And I want you to be honest with yourself from the very start of this practice to the very end of this practice. And I want you to practice in accordance with how you are today. So let's say you don't have much energy to give. Give just enough. Maybe you'd like to take more rest poses. Even if I don't say to take a rest pose, take a rest pose. Maybe you're full of energy and you would like to take the most progressive posture. Maybe you have no energy, you're running on empty, but halfway through the practice you feel topped up. You fill your tank. Then use it. But don't deplete yourself. Keep checking in. Not only in this class, in every single class, I want you to do that. In every single part of your life, I'd hope you'd do that. And I have one more question for you. How does that feel? So sometimes we really want to push through. And sometimes we really want to be lazy. But maybe the opposite is what we should do. So check in again and see if I tell you be more gentle, are you rebelling? Or if I tell you to push through, do you feel like that's a task? And maybe if you feel like that's a task, you should push through. Or maybe you should listen to it. You see, I don't know, only you do. So how does it feel? And then that same question I want you to ask yourself throughout this practice. In every posture, how does it feel? Quite often in yoga, we say things like, gently do this or gently do that. But we can't really stand by that all the time. If I say to gently do a warrior pose, gently would be floppy. Gently would not have activity and strength and stability. But what it means is that you go to your best effort, not above your best effort, and not below your best effort. That's not gently either. That's cheating yourself out of something. So what I mean by that is when we need to create force and strength and stability, do it. When it's time to rest and recuperate, do it. If you need more rest and recuperation, take it. And if you can summon some strength and energy and vigor to be more strong and stable, do it. So that's what this practice is all about. Finding that Goldilocks moment when we're giving just enough. It's just right. And it nourishes us. It really feeds us on a physical, a mental and emotional level. Okay. We're going to start lying down on the back. So that's me done ranting. Come to lie down. And I'm going to ask you those questions again. How are you? Take this time and please check in. How does that feel? Let's take control of our breath. Exhale until there's no more air to exhale from the lungs. Then inhale, belly, rib cage, chest and shoulders. Exhale, chest, ribs and belly. Inhale, belly, rib cage, chest and shoulders. Exhale, chest, ribs and belly. One more time. Inhale, belly, rib cage, chest and shoulders. Exhale, chest, ribs and belly. Let your natural breath return. Feel back into your whole body, attention to your whole body. Wake your body, wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. Move your hands and feet. Take your stretch and relax back down. And then lift your head, look down over the body. Bring the feet a little closer together. So you have a straight line from your hip to your knee to the center of your foot. You have a straight line from your pubic bone to your belly button to your breastbone to your chin. When happy with that, place the back of the head down on the ground. Chin ever so slightly towards the chest and the back of the neck is long. And then keep your left leg really active, pressing down with the left foot flexed. Bring your right knee in towards your chest. Interlace your fingers behind your right thigh and let the right knee sink down towards the right armpit. As always, we're not pulling, tearing or dragging just yet. We're just letting the hands be like a weight guiding that knee down. Left leg is active. Just be with your breath for a moment here. And now bring your right knee away so that the right knee stacks above the right hip. You can keep the fingers interlaced behind the thigh. And then we're going to straighten the leg all the way up to the ceiling or to wherever you feel a tremble. And then bend the knee and pull the heel down towards the buttock. Straighten the leg, straight or just to where you feel a tremble. Don't go beyond that. And bend the knee. 3 more like that, please. Straighten the leg and bend the knee. Straighten the leg and bend the knee. On this third and last one, straighten the leg and keep the leg long. Now let's work into the ankle joint. Inhale, point your toes to the ceiling. Exhale, flex your foot. Inhale, point. Exhale, flex. Point. Flex. 2 more, point. Flex. 1 more, point. And flex. Bend the knee again, please. And then do ankle rotations. Let the leg be quite relaxed here. Just turn your toes in circles of that right foot. And then change direction. And then back to stillness. This time put your hands down on the ground. We're going to do that but more actively. So this time draw your knee in towards your armpit but much more actively. Bring the knee in, hold it in, hold it in. Keep holding the knee towards the armpit quite strongly using the front and top of the thigh. And then bring the knee forward so the knee stacks above the hip. Straighten the leg, press the heel towards the ceiling. Feel like you're squeezing all the muscles of the leg in around the bones and then bend the knee again. 4 more like that. Lengthen and bend, lengthen and bend. 2 more, lengthen and bend. And remember on this one, we stay long. Point your toes, flex the foot. Point and flex, point and flex, point and flex. 1 more, point and flex. Bend your knee, place that foot back down on the ground. And then we're going to keep your pelvis very still as you lift your heel just a millimetre off the floor. A millimetre. I couldn't think of the word millimetre. So now begin to just slide your heel out over the ground, but keep the pelvis very still. Slide your heel out. Slide your heel out. Slow motion. And when that leg is long, really press it down into the ground. Feel the support of the right leg on the ground. And bring the left knee in towards the chest. Interlace your fingers behind your left thigh. Let your left knee sink down towards your left armpit. So the left knee sinks down, the back of the right leg's pressing firmly into the ground. Your hands are like a weight. There's not too much activity going on in the left leg yet. And then bring left knee forward, so left knee stacks above the hip. You still have the fingers interlaced. Straighten the leg, fully straight or just before you begin to tremble or shake. That shows that you're just over activating the nerves in the leg. So don't go beyond that tremble. Keep straightening and bending. This last one, we're going to keep the leg long and then point and flex at the ankle joint. So toes point to ceiling and then they draw back towards the knee. One more. Great. Bend the knee, keep the leg quite relaxed, and then we'll just turn the toes in little circles. Ankle rotation. Change direction. Great. Okay, we're going to be more active. Put the hands on the ground. And then bring your left knee in close to your chest and really draw it in. Really draw the knee in, really draw the knee in, hold the knee in, hold the knee in, hold the knee in. And then take the knee forward, straighten the leg and bend, straighten and bend, straighten and bend. Two more, straighten and bend. One more, straighten and hold the leg long. Point and flex, point and flex. Point and flex, two more, point and flex, one more, point and flex, and then bend the knee and put the foot back down on the ground. Great. Keep your pelvis very still, lift your heel about 1 millimeter, there's a great word, and then extend slowly the leg out over the ground, slowly, 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 until the leg is long. And then from there, we're going to work into a little bit of core work. So the hands stay pressing down into the ground. Press your left leg down. Lift your right leg up just about 30 degrees away from the ground. And then lift up 45 degrees away from the ground. And then lift up 60 degrees. And then 75. And then all the way up to 90 or thereabouts. And then just go down the same way. So go down about 15 degrees. And 15 more, and 15 more, and 15 more. And then hover just above the ground. And let's go back up. So up for 15 degrees, up again, up again, up again. And then all the way up until you have a right angle at the hip joint. Let's go back down. Keep going down in increments. Keep pressing out through your right heel. Hover just above the ground and then place that leg down. So now this time, just hover the left leg and it'll go up 15 degrees, 30 degrees, 45 degrees, 60, 75, 90, excellent, 75, 60, 45, 30, and 15 is hovering just above the floor. Go back up 30, 45, 60, 75, 90, and go back down 75, 60, 45, 30, and hover just above the floor and all the way back down. Okay, this time, pelvis is going to stay quite still. And we're going to do both legs together. Now, if you feel like the back overarches and the belly domes up towards the ceiling, then I want you to just do one leg at a time, one time again on the right, one time again on the left. Or if you feel like your low back really flattens down into the ground, flattening the low back isn't as bad. It'll activate your abdominal muscles quite strongly, which is a good thing. But when we have the spine in a neutral position where it's not forward tilted or backward tilted at the pelvis and the lower back, then we actually have a lot more muscles co-contracting and working in more efficiency. Whereas when we have the low back flattened and the posterior or backward tilt of the pelvis, we're quite strongly activating the lower abs, which is not a bad thing, but we want to work more. We want to work our whole core and powerhouse with this. So we want to try and keep the pelvis as level as possible. So both legs together. So squeeze your legs together, lift about 15 degrees, 30, 45, 60, 75, 90. Same deal going back down. So 75, 60, 45, 30. Hover above the floor for 15 and let's go back up. 30, 45, 60, 75, 90. Let's go back down. 75, 60, 45, 30. Hover just above the floor and release the legs down. Just relax completely. Well done. So you probably feel quite a lot of core effort, and then now just relax it and breathe deeply into your low belly. Let your breath be received into that soft belly and ask yourself again, how am I? How are you? How do you feel? Okay, bend your knees. Roll onto one side and come up to a seated position. Crossing the legs and sitting up nice and tall. So maybe rocking the flesh of the buttocks out to the side, finding your sit bones lengthening like the ears are being drawn up towards the ceiling by a magnet. And stack your ribs over your pelvis, so don't allow your chest to flare forward. Let's work into the upper body. So reach your right hand out. I'm going to mirror you. Reach your right hand out. The wrist is in line with the shoulder. Take your left hand to the front, the palm side of the right hand, and just guide that right hand back just a little bit so that we're not forcing it back. We're just creating a stretch. And hold this for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now, see where the hand is, but take control. Try not to let the hand move forward. Let your left hand go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take your thumb to the center of your palm, wrap the fingers around the thumb. Pull your fist to the floor for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then just shake out your hand. Release hold of the thumb. Very good. Let's do the left side. Reach your left arm forward, fingers pointing up. Use your right hand to bring the hand back towards your shoulder for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now hold the position for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thumb to the center of the palm, bring the fist to the ground for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release the thumb and shake out the hand. Great. Reach the arms back out shoulder height. Turn the palms to face the ceiling. Keep the elbow shoulder height, touch your shoulder and reach back out. 4 more like that. Bring it in and stretch it out. Bring it in and stretch it out. 2 more in and out. This time keep the hand on the shoulder. Great big shoulder rolls. Next time the elbows meet, change direction. Next time the elbows meet, slide the hands in behind the neck rotations. Change direction. And back to stillness. Release your hands down. Shrug your shoulders to your ears and squeeze for 5, 4, 3, 2, and a big excellent. Let's do that twice more just for fun. Squeeze 5, 4, 3, 2, and release. Squeeze 5, 4, 3, 2, and release. Excellent. Let's come to all fours. Okay. In all fours. Knees underneath your hips, tops of the feet on the floor, wrists underneath the shoulders or slightly forward, fingers spread nice and wide, crease of the wrist in line with the front of the mat. We know all these things. Let's do our shoulder mobility. We'll just do scapula push-ups. We're going to do 5 from a kneeling position. And then if you have it in you, you're going to do 5 from a plank position. So first let's set up the spine. So remember, we're not collapsing the front body down, neither are we rounding the back body. So we feel like the back of the neck is picking up towards the ceiling, but we're sending the sit bones back and the crown of the head forward to lengthen through the spine. Pull your rib cage back a little, your lower belly back a little, as if you're pulling your front body into your back body. Now let's work with the shoulder blades. Squeeze the shoulder blades together on the back, and then push the shoulder blades away from the spine. 4 more. Squeeze your shoulder blades together, and then push forward, back and forward, back and forward. 1 more, back and forward. Find neutral. We're going to step back to plank. So curl your toes under, slide your left leg back, find plank, slide your right foot back, find plank. Now, if that's feeling like it's too much for you to move into scapular push-ups, then just hold plank or put your knees back down and do more scapular push-ups. Let's do 5 together. Shoulder blades together and push away. Shoulder blades together and push away. Together, push away. 2 more together. Push away. 1 more together. Push away. Both knees go back down to the ground. And then from here, we're going to step the right foot to the little finger side of the right hand. Right foot to the little finger side of the right hand. And then we're going to move into a yin shape. So toes are going to point out so that the second toe is pointing towards 1 o'clock if it was on a clock face. Walk the hands a good deal forward and let the pelvis sink down towards the ground. If you know that you have a sensitive back knee, we're going to curl up the mat so that you have more padding, or you could grab yourself a blanket. So really allow the pelvis to sink down, and you're giving the pelvis's weight to gravity first, okay? We're not going to move any further into this shape, as in we're not going to open the hip anymore, neither are we going to go down onto the forearms yet. We're going to hold here for about 30 seconds, and I just want you to feel and really notice, tune in to the weight of your pelvis. Tune into the weight of your pelvis. What I mean by that is it's sinking towards the floor via gravity, and you're not doing much to counteract that right now. Okay, and now we're going to do the opposite. So we're going to take control, curl the back toes under. So if you want to move the mat, if you had support underneath that back knee, you can roll out the mat again. Curl the back toes under, lift the back leg. So still your right foot is slightly angled out to the side. You're going to lift the back leg, and it's as if we're in a strong plank here. The hands are slightly forward of the shoulders, but I want you to push the hands forward and into the floor and press the heel of the left leg back. And now imagine that you're holding your pelvis strongly in space. We're going to hold this very actively now for about 30 seconds. Really strong in that back leg, as if you're trying to draw the back of the knee and the front of the knee up towards the ceiling. Hold and keep the sensation of holding the pelvis in space, so the pelvis does not feel heavy anymore. In fact, there's so much muscular effort that the pelvis almost feels weightless. You have about 4 more seconds. And then put the left knee back down on the ground. I'm going to ask you to walk your right foot even further forward. So we're sliding the right foot forward, but in the same direction that the toes were going. So it's moving off the mat. Okay. Then send the pelvis forward again. If you know that you need some support underneath the back knee, feel free to take it. And then we're going to keep the left hand on the ground. Reach the right arm forward of the right shoulder. Turn the right hand to face upwards towards the ceiling, and then sweep the right arm back towards the back of your mat. Okay? So it's like a big rainbow arch almost. And then turn your right palm to face down. And if you've done this bit with me before, you'll know it's a low 5. The heel of the left foot is going to tap my right hand, hopefully. So make yourself feel strong. Continue to make the pelvis feel weightless, not just heavy and sinking down towards the ground. You can look back, or you can look at the floor. You can look back at the back hand, or you can look at the floor near the front hand. And then we're going to bend up that left knee and tap the right hand and straighten out the leg. Tap the right hand, straighten out the leg. Tap tap. This time we're going to hold it for 10, 9, 8, keep squeezing, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Straighten out. Sweep your right hand back down to the ground. We're going to send the pelvis back a little bit and then send the right foot back so that we're kneeling, that right knee underneath right hip. Take the mat out if you have moved the mat. Keep your hands where they are so they're a good deal forward of the shoulders. And let's go back into downward dog. So a long dog. Curl your toes under. Lift your knees. Press your chest and belly back. Take this long dog and really send your pelvis all the way up towards the top of the ceiling behind you. What I mean by that is don't just hang out with the shoulders forward. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen your spine. Keep the ears between the upper arms. Maybe a soft bend in the knees. And really feel like the pelvis is moving back. Create that lightness. So we're lifting the pelvis up. It's not heavy. It's not heavy. It's weightless. And then place the knees back down. All right, so walk the hands back in underneath the shoulders. Make sure that you have the knees underneath the hips. And from here, we're going to revisit plank. So this time we're going to curl the toes under. Right foot is going to slide back into a half plank position. Left leg is going to slide back. And then we're going to hold the plank for maybe about 10 more seconds. Keeping strong, keeping stable. Pull your front body into your back body. You just have about 3 seconds left. And then the knees come back down. Excellent. We're going to take the left hand. No, I keep getting my feet and my hands mixed up today. We're going to take the left foot, no less, to the outside of the left hand. Ta-da! And turn your toes out. So now your left second toe is pointing towards 11 o'clock. The hands, these are hands, they move forward. And we're going to let the pelvis sink down. We're going to hold here for about a minute. And this time the pelvis is heavy, remember? We're just allowing the weight of the pelvis to sink down. We're not taking control. We're not using much effort. We're just holding. We're just allowing the pelvis to sink. And we'll be here maybe 10 more seconds. And then we're going to do the opposite. So we're going to curl the right set of toes under, lift that right knee up, and we're holding this strong variation of a lunge position, kind of a variation of a dragon lunge. Hold. So the back knee is lifting off the floor, the back leg is very strong. The hands are still pressing down. The back of your neck is still pulling towards the ceiling, so we're not just collapsing the neck down. Put that knee back down. Remember that if you need the support under the knee, I'm going to choose support under my right knee in this one. And remember, we're going to do the low fives. So we still have the weight forward. We're going to lift the left hand forward with the palm facing up. And then we're going to sweep it back. So we're opening the chest and then the palm faces down. So it's a low five. We're going to use the heel of the right foot to tap the left hand. And on the 5th time, we're going to hold for 10 seconds. Get ready and pull it in for 1, 2, 3, 4. Holding it now for 5, 10, 9, 8, 7. Cramp if you want. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Put the foot back down on the ground. Sweep your left hand back down. Take the knee off the support if you needed it. Keep the hands where they are. And then from here, we're going to curl the back set of toes under. And we're going to step all the way back to downward dog. It's a long dog. Yeah, lovely. Use the strength in the arms to press the hips back and up. Press the armpits a little closer to the floor. Feel the outsides of the arms are active. Press your thumbs and your first fingers firmly down. And then we're going to come forward. We're not going to put the knees down this time. We're going to come forward into a variation of plank. So the shoulders come forward above the wrists. Press your heels back. Holding for maybe 5 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Knees go down. Well done. Okay, from here, we're going to turn to the side. And we're going to extend out your right leg. I'm going to mirror you, just for fun. I'm going to extend out your right leg with your heel in line with your left knee and your toes pointing forward. Put the hands on the floor and lengthen the spine. So your spine feels like it's in a plank position. Press the top of your left foot really firmly into the ground. And then we're going to lean back and forward. So we're trying to stretch the inner leg of that long right leg. So lean back, sit bones back, and come forward with the left hip above the knee. Lean back and come forward. We have 3 more. Lean back and come forward. We have 2 more. Lean back and come forward. We have 1 more. We're going to hold it for 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come forward. Let's switch sides. Bring in the right leg. Extend out your left. So your heel's in line with your knee. Hands underneath the shoulders, wrists underneath the shoulders. Lean back. Feel a stretch down the long leg on the inside. And come forward. Lean back. And come forward. Lean back. And come forward. Let's do 3 more. Lean back. And come forward. Lean back. And come forward. And on this last one, we're going to hold it for 10. Lean back and hold for 10. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And come back with the right hip above the right knee. Bring your knees in. And then turn back to the front of the mat. Stand up on your knees. And we're going to do... it's a natural knee extension. So we're going to open the front of the hip. Let me just explain something. So this one, it's going to feel a little bit like a camel pose, but a camel pose is a back bend. What I want here is that the shoulders stay stacked above the hips. The pelvis will remain in neutral. And basically it's a strong position. And we're going to lean back, lean back, lean back, lean back as far as you can. And then push yourself back up. So that what happens is that we get this lovely opening stretch on the front body. And then when we feel we can go no further, we use elasticity to bounce back up. Okay, so that strengthens this front line. Okay, so we're lengthening the front line and then we're strengthening the front line as we bounce back up. We're going to do this 5 times. What I'd like you to really remember is that it's not a back bend. There is no forward pelvic tilt. So in fact, I would say it's not a posterior tilt, but I would engage as if you were about to do a posterior tilt, and that will hold you in the neutral position. So you can even check neutral with the diamond shape that we use, that Pilates compass, that pelvic compass. So we know that the pubic bone and the hip points, they are level. The rib cage is stacked above the pelvis. You could keep that there, or hands come down, and you can make a fist. I like to make a fist because it makes me feel stronger. Press the feet really firmly into the floor, about 3 out of 10, 30%, okay? You feel the tissue at the front of the pelvis and the lower abdominals is strong, and that's going to hold you as you go back. Keep everything really solid and strong, as if there's like a co-contraction of all the muscles. And then lean back, lean back, lean back, lean back, lean back, lean back, and an elastic sensation as you pull back up. So if you find that you're going back and you are rounding or arching, should I say, your low back, then don't go back as far. I don't mind how far you go back. You might touch the floor. You might be way better at this than me. Let's do 4 more together. Okay. So open the front of the hip by leaning back, leaning back, leaning back, leaning back, leaning back, and then come back up. And 3 more. Lean back. And come back up. There's a load of work in the feet so that you feel elastic on the way up. Go back. Come back up. 1 more. Go back. Come back up. Well done. Okay, put the hands back down. Then we're going to take a variation of side planks. So first we're going to step the right foot forward towards the right hand. And turn the right foot out to the side. So the right foot is pointing to the right at 3 o'clock. Walk the hands forward of the shoulders again. Curl the back toes under, lift that back knee. But this time you're going to walk the left foot to the middle of the mat and roll onto the little toe side of the left foot. Press your left hand really firmly into the floor and then sweep your right hand up towards the ceiling. Now lift your hips up towards the ceiling and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and on 1, sweep your right hand underneath your waist and back up to the ceiling. Sweep your right hand underneath your waist and back up to the ceiling. Let's do 3 more like that. Sweep under and back up. Sweep under and back up. 1 more time. Sweep under and back up. Now take your right hand back to the ground. Come onto the ball of the left foot. Step the left foot back into, so that the left foot is in line with the left hip again. We're going to keep the hands where they are, but we're going to send the right leg up into a 3-legged dog. So 3-legged dog. Lift that right heel up. Keep your hips level. Not lifting right hip too high. Extend back through that right heel. Extend back through that right heel. Extend back through that right heel. And then core plank. So shoulders go above the wrist. Bring your right knee towards your breastbone. And then all the way back. Right knee to the breastbone. Shoulders above the wrist. And then all the way back. Extend. This time, right knee comes in towards the breastbone. Extend the right foot out to the right hand side. Put the right heel down. Go onto the big toe side of your left leg. Lift your left hand to the ceiling. Hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Sweep under. Sweep to ceiling. Sweep under. Sweep to ceiling. 3 more. Sweep under. Sweep to ceiling. 2 more. Sweep under. Sweep to ceiling. 1 more. Sweep under. Sweep to ceiling. Take your left hand down. Find downward dog. Long downward dog. The hands are forward. And then place your knees down to the ground. Well done. This time left foot steps to the outside of the left hand and turn your toes all the way out to 9 o'clock. Curl the right toes under. Lift that right knee. Then walk the right foot to the middle of the mat and come onto the little toe side, the knife edge of your right foot. Reach your left hand for the ceiling. Hold. Lift the hips away from the floor. 3, 2, 1. Rotate under. Breastbone follows the hand. Reach up. Left hand under the waist. Breastbone follows the hand. Reach up. Breastbone under the waist. That makes sense. Breastbone's underneath your armpit. Reach up. 2 more. 1 more. This time, put your hand down. Come onto the ball of the back foot. Step the foot out so that it's back to hip distance. Extend your left leg up so that we're in our 3-legged dog, but it's a long dog, so you might feel completely different to your normal dog. Keep your hips level. Extend back through your left heel. Core plank, shoulders above the wrist, knee to the breastbone. And back up, 3-legged dog. 2 more times like that. Knee in, shoulders above the wrists. And you 3-legged dog. 1 more time. This time we're going to send the left foot out to the right hand side. You're on the knife edge of the left foot. Roll onto the big toe side of the right foot. Reach your right hand towards the ceiling. Right hand goes underneath the waist. And back up. Right hand goes underneath the waist. And back up. Right hand goes underneath the waist. And it goes back up. And you do this 2 more times. Just for fun. Maybe you've taken a break. Maybe I'm talking to myself and you're making pancakes. Extend back into 3-legged dog. Put your foot down. Put your knees down. Roll all the way onto your back body. Extend out your legs. And lie down. And relax. You've done a lot of work there. Maybe if you felt like it. If you didn't, maybe you were just listening and you were charging yourself up for the next time that you do this practice. Just feel the floor beneath you for a few moments. Feel the floor beneath you. Bend your knees. Bring your right knee towards your right armpit, left knee towards your left armpit. Setting up for happy baby, so you might stay with the whole spine held by the ground. Maybe you take the arms to the insides of the legs and reach the little toe sides of the feet. Keep the pelvis on the ground, head on the ground. Maybe you're lifting the heels up, pointing the soles of the feet towards the ceiling. We're just going to hold happy baby for a few breaths, quite passively here, yin style, just relax. Now relax the heels back down towards the knees, maybe you're down towards the buttocks, maybe you're sliding the hands back towards the knees if they're not already there. Knees come together, hands on top of the knees. Just create circles. You're massaging the lower back and sacrum down into the ground. 3 circles in one direction. 3 circles in the opposite direction. And then from here, place the feet down to the ground. We're going to rest in the reclining butterfly or Supta Baddha Konasana position. So soles of the feet will touch and the knees open wide. Hands either on the floor beside you, palms facing up, or hands on your lower belly. Or if you want, you could raise the arms above the head, holding onto opposite elbows. We're going to hold here, letting the knees sink down via gravity. Just relax and be with your breath. And tune into the natural inflation of your belly as you inhale and the natural relaxation down of your belly with the exhale. That's all you have to do for the next few moments. If you have the arms above the head, slowly take them back down beside you. Then guide your knees back together. Roll onto one side and just rest for a moment on your side. When you feel ready to do so, press up into a seated position. Once seated, find yourself centered, grounded, and just one more time, ask yourself, how are you? And ask yourself, how does it feel? Take your hands in front of your heart and just honor exactly how you feel in this moment. Whether it's better or worse than you did at the beginning of practice. Whether you've moved through something or whether you've decided to relax and be in something. Maybe you've learned a lot about yourself along the way because you listened to yourself. Acknowledge it. Honor it. Be so proud of it. Until we meet again, seal your practice. Shia Kun.